Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make a skeleton statue. It should be fairly straightforward if you want to make him. Here's what you're going to need. You will need black wool, dark grey wool, and finally, light grey wool. That's right, you will only be needing those three colours, so once you have those and once you've figured out where you want to make it, I'm going to be making it right here. You're going to want to kick this off with a row of 8 light grey wool coming directly up from the floor. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. On top of that row of 8 light grey, you then want to place a single dark grey wool. On top of that dark grey, place 3 light grey. 1, 2, 3. That is our first row. Wants to look a little bit like this. Once you've done that, you want to build a row directly to the right of this row. So starting from the right of the bottom block here, coming up, you want to start this off with a row of 5 light grey. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then place a single dark grey. Then place 4 light grey. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then place a single dark grey, and then on top of that a single light grey to finish off the row. And that, ladies and gentlemen, once you've done that, is the front of the left leg. Pause this if necessary, of course. Once you've done that, we now have to do the front of the right leg. So what you want to do is go right of this right row here, and you just want to leave a gap of 2. So starting from the third, you just want to leave a gap of 2. Starting from the third, you pretty much just want to mirror what we've done here. So you don't want to just like copy the rows left then right. You want to just mirror what you've got. You'll see what I mean once I've done it. There's not really any need for explanation with these. Let me show you. So you want to do this. Very simple. So you just want a copy of the front of the left leg, except in mirrored form. Very easy. Once you've done that, we now have to do the back of the legs. Pause this if necessary, of course. Coming round to the back of the legs, we'll be starting with, let's start with this left leg, it doesn't really matter. Starting with the left leg on the back, not on the front. Starting with the left leg on the back, starting with the left row. This is what you want to do. From the floor, you want to kick it off with a row of 10 light grey. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then do a single dark grey wool, then a single light grey to finish off the row. Once you've done the first row, this is what you want to do for the second row. So again, starting from the bottom, you want to kick this off with a row of 8 light grey. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then do a single dark grey, and then finish off the row with 3 light grey. 1, 2, 3. To give you something which should look a little bit like this. And once you've done that to the first leg, you want to go ahead and do the exact same thing to the second leg, except of course in mirrored form, just as we did on the front. So I'm just going to quickly do that. There you go. It doesn't require any plans or any descriptions of any sort. You just have to copy what you've done on that previous leg. And in doing that, you've completed both our skeleton's legs. Pause this if necessary, of course. Once you've done that, it's now time for us to move up to our skeleton's body. Well, what he has of one. We're actually going to be making his pelvis first. So, coming to the front of your skeleton, coming up to the very tippy top. This is kind of difficult to explain, but this is what you want to do. I'm going to do it and then just kind of talk through it. You basically want to balance a row of what I believe to be 8 light grey on top of each one of the top rows of the legs. You see, that sounds really complicated, but in actuality, that's what you want to do. Really simple to see what I've done there. What you then want to do, once you have the 2 rows of light grey balanced on top of the legs, is just extend out those rows, one to the front and one coming back, like this. Very simple. What you then want to do, once you have your 4 rows of light grey coming to the back here, you want to knock out this block, the second one from the right end, knock that out, replace that with a dark grey, then place a dark grey upright diagonally of that dark grey, like this. and you also want to come to the front here, and coming in from the right hand side, you want to find the third block of light grey, so 1, 2, 3, and just place a dark grey right here. So on the front, you just want to have that. Once you have those 3 dark grey blocks placed, this is what you want to do. You pretty much just want to draw a little outline on top of your 4 rows of light grey, just going around. So you just want a little rectangular shape like this. It should be easy enough to see what I've done there. It's a really weird statue, this one, guys. So you just want to have something which should look a little bit like this, and then you've got your 2 dark grey on the back, and of course you've just got your single dark grey on the front. Once you've reached this point right here, it's now time for us to continue on. We're going to be making a skeleton spine. So, as you might imagine, we've got to come to the back of the statue to make the spine. So, on top of these 2 middle blocks right here of our light grey, you're going to want to, first of all, on top of the left middle block, go up by 6 with your light grey on top of this left middle block. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then, actually, whilst we're here, extend this 6th block to the left by 3. So 1, 2, 3. So you just have a nice little corner shape like this. Starting from the bottom right middle block for our spine, you want to do this. You want to do 3 light grey, 1, 2, 3, 1 dark grey, then 2 light grey, 1, 2, and then extend out going right of this second light grey by 3. So 1, 2, 3. To give you something which should look a little bit like this. Very simple indeed. And you know what, whilst we're here, actually we'll do this a little later on, that it doesn't matter, disregard that. So once you've done that, and as always, pause this if necessary of course, it's time for us to continue on. So come up to the middle top part of our T, these 2 blocks right here, and on top of the left middle block, you want to do a single dark grey, then a single light grey. From the single light grey, you want to go to the left by 3, so 1, 2, 3. Which is just a little bit of the rib cage. Once you've done that, you then want to come back over to the top middle part of our T, and this time, starting from the top middle right block, you want to go up by 2, and then you want to go right of the second block again by 3. So 1, 2, 3, to give you something which should look like this. Kind of looks like a girder shape. Once you've done that, it's time for us to do this one more time. So again, coming up to the top middle part of the spine, starting from the left middle block, go up by 2, 1, 2, go left by 3, 1, 2, 3. Coming to the top right middle part of the spine, do 1 dark grey, 1 light grey, then right by 3, 1, 2, 3, to give you something which should in total look a little bit like this. Very easy indeed. So once you've done that, and as always, pause this if necessary of course, it's time for us to move on to the front of the ribcage. So come to the front of your statue, a little more successfully than I did. I slammed straight into the ribs, and this is what you want to do. So you want to extend towards you from each individual end of the branch of the ribs. So these 6 branches right here, the end blocks, you want to extend each of them towards you by 3. So like this, it sounds difficult, but 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, other side, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and finally 1, 2, 3, to give you something which should look a little bit like this. They're looking a lot more like ribs already. Very simple. Once you've done that, we now actually get to build up the front of the ribcage. So we'll be starting from the top, I think. So starting with these top 2 ribs, this is the top of the body of the statue. This is what you want to do. For the first row, you basically just want to add a single light grey next to our pre-existing light greys, like that. And that is the top row. Very simple. The second row, this is what you want to do. Do 2 dark grey underneath 2 light grey, and then add a single light grey next to the dark grey coming in towards the centre, like so. Very simple. For the third row, this is what you want to do, and just going from left to right, going from this left rib, going to the right rib, this is what you want to do. Very simple indeed. Do 1 light grey, 1 dark grey, 2 light grey, 1 dark grey, I can't talk this morning guys, and finally 1 light grey, to give you something which should look like this. That is row number 3. This is what you want to do for row number 4. So again, starting from the left hand side, going right, and it just sits directly under row number 3, as you might imagine. So you want to do 1 dark grey, 2 light grey, 2 dark grey, 2 light grey, 1 dark grey, like so. This is what you want to do for row number 5. So row number 5, left to right again, 2 dark grey, 2 light grey, 2 dark grey, to give you something which should look like this. This is what you want to do for row number 6. Row number 6 is ever so slightly trickier, and honestly, I'm just going to do it and then show you guys the end results. There you go, that is all you want to do for row number 6. You just want to do those 4 light grey wool right there. Very easy indeed. This is what you want to do for row number 7, and this is the final row. So you just want to extend it down from the left light grey and do 1 dark grey, then 1 light grey going right. Again, I can't speak this morning, guys, I apologise. And starting from the right light grey, you want to go down by 1 with your dark grey, and then go left 1 with your dark grey to give you something that should look a little bit like this. And once you've done that, you have successfully done the entire rib cage. Very simple indeed, in my opinion. Pause this if necessary, of course. Once you have indeed finished it, it's time for us to continue on. So, just to give you guys a nice little side view, since I think this is quite cool. Look at that. Look how cool that looks. I really like that. Continuing on. So, we're now going to do the head of our skeleton. So, what you basically want to do first of all is balance a row of 8 light grey directly on top of the most outward row of the rib. So you want to do this, just do a row of 8 light grey directly on top of the top row of the ribs, like so. What you then want to do is do a row of light grey coming directly towards you from your original row of light grey, like so. Then, this next row right here, we're going to be building from left to right, as it's going to be the first row of the face and requires a little bit of detail. So, for this row right here, in front of our second light grey row, you want to do this, going from left to right. Do 4 dark grey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 light grey, 1 dark grey, 1 light grey, 1 dark grey, to give you something which should look like this. Very simple, that's the first row of the face of our skeleton. For the second row, going directly up, on the very far left hand side place a single light grey wool, on the very far right hand side place a single dark grey wool, and everywhere in between place black wool, like so. That's row number 2. For row number 3, do this, going from left to right, do 3 light grey, 1, 2, 3, 2 dark grey, 1, 2, 2 light grey, 1, 2, 1 dark grey, like so. Row number 4, you want to do, going from left to right, again, that's what all of this is going to be, do 1 light grey, 2 black, 2 light grey, 2 black, 1 light grey. For row number 5, do, again left to right, do 4 light grey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 dark grey, 3 light grey. For row number 6, do a single dark grey wool on the left here, and then do the rest of the row in with light grey. For row number 7, do 3 dark grey, 1, 2, 3, do 4 light grey, 1, 2, 3, 4, then do a single dark grey to finish off the row. For the 8th and final row, do 1 light grey, 1 dark grey, 2 light grey, 2 dark grey, 3 light grey to finish off your skeleton's face. Look how sinister he's looking. Look how spooky he looks. Spooky, scary skeleton. So once you've done the face, it's now time for us to move on to the rest of the head. So come round to the back of the head, And this is what you want to do. Starting from the original row of 8 light grey, you want to extend this row over the back of the statue, and you want to do that by doing 5 solid rows of light grey. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exactly like this. And that should just be overhanging the back of our ribcage here by 2. Very simple indeed. So now coming to the back of the head once more. First, we've just got to edit this back row right here. You just want to knock out these 2 blocks right here and replace them with dark grey wool. That's the actual first row of the back of the head. Now we're going to build up the rest of it. So, doing all of this going from left to right, just as we did the front of the head, this is what you want to do for row number 2 of the back of the head. Again, left to right, do this. 5 light grey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoops, I'm all over the place. 5 light grey, 1 dark grey, 2 light grey. Very simple. Row number 3 and 4, they're just entirely light grey, so just do 2 solid rows of light grey wool, like that. Row number 5, do 1 dark grey, 2 light grey, 1 dark grey, 4 light grey. Row number 6 is just entirely light grey wool, so just do a solid row of light grey. Row number 7, do 1 light grey, 1 dark grey, then 6 light grey. And finally for row number 8, do 2 light grey, 1 dark grey, then 5 light grey to give you something which should look exactly like this. This is the entire back of the head. It's now time for us to move on to the sides of the head. So we're going to be starting with the right hand side here. And we're going to be doing this exactly how we did the front and the back of the head. So starting with what will be technically row number 2 of the side of the head, since we've already got this row number 1. Going from left to right, do this. Do 2 light grey, 1 dark grey, 3 light grey. Like so. For the next 3 rows, do 3 solid rows of light grey. So 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. For the next row, do 5 light grey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 dark grey. For the next 2 rows, just do 2 solid rows of light grey, and there you have it. That is as simple as the side of the head gets. Just basically those 2 dark grey wool that we had to place. Pause this if necessary, of course. Once you've done that to the right hand side of the head, it's now time for us to go ahead and do it on the other side. So here's the good news about the side of the head. They are symmetrical. They are the same. All you have to do this side of the head is look directly forward and copy what you did on the other side of the head. There's no need to worry about it whatsoever, which pretty much just entails at the end of the day you placing those 2 dark grey blocks right there. I know this side looks different because we've got the dark grey of the back of the head and the front of the head, but trust me when I tell you the left and right hand side of the heads are the same, and as I said, just look directly forward and copy it. Once you've done the second side of the head, it's now time for us to do the top of the head. So come up to the top of the head, which is pretty empty. Maybe we need to put some brains in there. Do skeletons have brains? I doubt it. So this is what you want to do. You want to be facing towards the back of the head, so you kind of want to be on the front, facing towards the back of the head, and again, we're going to be building the top of the head how we've built every other single side of the head. We're going to be going from left to right, and just coming towards the front here. So, for the second row of the back of the head, do this. Do 1 dark grey, rest light grey. For the next row, and as a matter of fact, this works for the next 2 rows, do 2 light grey, 1 dark grey, then make the rest light grey. And as I said, you just want to do that for the next 2 rows. So there you go, you want to do that. 2 light grey, 1 dark grey, 3 light grey essentially. Then for the next 3 rows, you just want to do 3 solid rows of light grey, and that is as simple as it gets. Let me just show you the top of the head just in case you didn't get that. So, once you've done the top of the head, and as always, pause this if necessary of course, it's now time for us to make the final additions to our statue, which are the scariest parts. the arms. That's right, we're making him lethal. So come to the left-hand side of your skeleton and come down to the middle section of the ribs, so right here. Starting from the back block of the ribs, this one right here, you want to do this. So in front of this block and then going right in front of the statue, you want to do this combination of blocks. Do one light grey, one dark grey, then 10 light grey. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like so. Very simple. Then, in front of that first row, going from left to right, this is what you want to do. You want to do 3 light grey, 1, 2, 3, then 1 dark grey, then make the rest of the row light grey. And just to give you guys a top view of what that should look like, I don't know whether this will be any easier, it should look a little bit like this. Very simple indeed. And that is the underpart of our skeleton's arm. To do the upper part, all you basically have to do is copy what you have underneath for the lower part of the arm. So you just want to do this. You basically just want to trace along the top of what you've just done, and you should end up with the first arm, just to give you guys a nice side view first, and then to give you guys a top view if it helps. It doesn't really, as I said, all you basically want to do is copy exactly what you have underneath, and once you've done that, you should end up with something that should look exactly like this. Very simple indeed. Pause this if necessary. Once you've done that to the left side, you want to go ahead and do that to the right side of the statue in the exact same place as well. So coming to the right hand side of the statue, coming to the middle of the ribs, and starting from the back block here, coming towards the front of the statue, do this sequence of blocks. Do 1 light grey, 1 dark grey, then 10 light grey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then for the second row, which should be in front of the row that you've just made, do 3 light grey, 1, 2, 3, 1 dark grey, and then make the rest of the row light grey. You've already done this before, but let me just show you. Very simple indeed. And once you've got that first layer, you just want to add the second layer in there as well. So just do pretty much the exact same thing on top of your 2 rows. So there you have it. Very simple indeed. To give you something which, once it's finished, should look a little bit like this. I mean, I can't give you a good view of both of the arms, but I'll show you this arm again. No real reason to. As I said, it is just a direct copy of the arm that we've just done, so it shouldn't be too difficult for you to figure out regardless. And once you finish doing that second arm, I've got some extremely good news for you. Once you have finished both of the arms, you should be left with your 100% completed finished skeleton statue. That's right, you have absolutely done everything. Give yourself a bit of a pat on the back. Once you've reached this point in the video, the tutorial is officially over, and I'm just going to give you a nice 360-degree view of our skeleton before we leave off. Look at him. Look how fantastic he is. I did consider giving the skeleton a bow or a sword or this and that, but I figured that I would leave it to you guys to decide what you wanted to give your skeleton. There's so many variations on what you could do with him. You could give him a bow and arrow, you could give him the sword, you could throw a gold helmet on him if you wanted to. So I just figured I'd give you guys the nice base layer of the skeleton. I've got to say, this is one of my more favourite statues. I think it's the torso of the statue that really does it. It is very, very different, but all of that being said, I really do hope that you guys found this easy enough to follow. It's not a terribly difficult statue. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.